All right, guys, I'm going to go through with you what you're going to need to do to get to your CK12 stuff. So you have, turn the lamp on so you can see this. Okay, so you have this document. Okay, so what you're going to need to do, you're going to need to get into CK12. So if you do that, now this is what mine looks like. You may not already be logged in. If you aren't, then you need to do that. Okay. So I'm going to change to this, to the student version. Okay, so there are, as you can see on the packet, directions. So you have 10 readings from CK12 assigned to you. You need to move through these readings in the order on this sheet, not necessarily in, what's that say? Not necessarily the order typos in which they're assigned in CK12. Okay, so when I added these to our group, it put them in weird orders. So you're going to get logged in and you're going to go to, let's see, can you go to dashboard? Let's see. Let's try this. Yours may look different. Let's go to groups. If your dashboard looks different than mine, great. Okay, so you need to get into whatever class, which is Gifted Science 6. Okay, and you're going to go to assignments. Okay, so in assignments, you have all of these things right here. Okay, as you can see, geologic timescale, Mesozoic era, the age of the dinosaurs, blah, 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 blah. This is not the order in which I want you to go because the order in which these things are is not going to make any sense to us right now. So if we go back and look at this, I want you to go in the order like this. Geologic timescale, principle of horizontality, age of the earth, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. As you go through the readings on your computer, you're expected to watch all the videos except for the geologic time video. This first one, geologic timescale, there's a video with an old gentleman wearing headphones. Don't watch it. It's awful. Okay? It's really, really, really boring. And I'll have other things to show you instead that are much more informational, much more current, and much better all around. Okay. And answer any questions that come at the end. You know how sometimes at the end they have questions for you? I want you to answer them on paper. Okay? So you got 2-column notes here. The purpose behind 2-column notes is it's kind of metacognition-ish type stuff. I'm going to go through the first one with you and show you what I'm looking for. As you come across new vocabulary terms, I want you to draw a box around them, and you'll know that they're vocabulary terms because they're like highlighted, bold, italicized, something like that. So vocabulary terms, you're going to draw a box around. When it comes a word you don't know, I want you to circle these. It is completely possible to have a word with a circle and a box because it may be maybe a vocab word, but it may also be something you have no idea what it is, and that's totally okay. Everyone should have the same vocabulary terms identified. This part, the new words to you, is going to be different for everyone, okay? So if we look at our structure here, so 2-column notes, the left side is information from the reading that I need to remember. So we're going to underline something here. I need to know. There is a difference between need to know and want to know, or nice to know. Sorry, not want. Need to know and nice is different. This over here is the thoughts and questions that you have while you're going through and reading that. So let's take a look, at this first one. So geologic timescale, and you'll notice on your paper, I've given you headings. So geologic timescale. Here's the next one, principle of horizontality. It is front and back. Let's see, this one is age of Earth, life in the geologic time scale. You kind of get the point. Okay, so let's go back here. Geologic time scale. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but anyway, okay, so here's what I got. Okay, so geologic time scale allows scientists to refer to events in Earth's history in relevant units. Okay, so up here underneath geologic time scale, okay, I'm going to put geo time scale, and I'll flip Let me do this. Geologic time scale. It is divided into units. I'm also going to put parentheses chunks because that makes more sense to me. It's divided into time chunks about Earth's history. Okay, so I'm going to make this bigger. Okay. So I'd read through this. So like right down here. So here's geologic timescale. So this is going to be a vocabulary word. So geologic timescale, and I'm going to go back to my drawing, see how I drew a box around geologic timescale? Because in the reading right here, it is bolded. So that tells me this is a term that I need to remember. Okay. So other things. So yeah, this is the video I'm talking about. Don't watch that. Okay. Geologic time condensed to 1 year. Okay, so we're not going to, you don't have to write all this down, okay, because there's a video that I have to show you that. Summary. So these are things that are good, okay, to write down. Review. These are the questions that I was talking about. I would ask you to answer in your document. And go ahead and watch all these. Okay, so let me finish my paper so you don't have to sit here and watch me do that. And then you'll take a look at what it looks like in the end. Okay? All right, so to be able to discuss Earth's history, scientists needed some way to refer to the time periods in which events happened and organisms lived, with the information they collected from the fossil record. So it's info from the fossil record. Now, fossil record. They created a listing of rock layers from oldest to youngest. Created layers of rocks from oldest to youngest. They divided Earth's history into blocks of time, which each block separated by important events. So I'm going to put each chunk or block of time divided by important events. Now these important events aren't things like birthdays. These important events are events that are noticeable in the fossil record. So like if you had a layer that was full of like fossils of like little sea creatures and like crabs and lobsters and crustacean like things, and then your next layer is nothing, okay, then something happened. Maybe there's a layer of complete dinosaur bones, and then the next layer of rock, it's all crushed bones. Something happened. These important events are mass extinction events. Okay. So anyway, you can look at the rest of mine on your paper. So that's kind of what I'm looking for you to do. Now, let's go over here. Okay. So thoughts or questions that I have. So here's what I got. So Earth's history, it's info from the fossil record, created layers of rocks from oldest to youngest. Now, if I don't know what fossil record is over here, I would circle that and I would put something like IDK. I actually do know what it is. So fossil record, this is telling me, so I need to look, so fossils matter. Okay. So a question that I have is what about the parts that don't fossilize? Parts that don't fossilize. What about color? You know, you always see those pictures of dinosaurs and always different colors. How do we know what color they were? Like, do we know that information? Or is it just someone's guess? Or how do we know that? Okay, so from oldest to youngest. Is it always that way? Okay, important events. Mass extinction events. Now this is my prior knowledge. So like, and how do we, like what evidence do we have of that? Okay, so there's some of my notes and there's some of my questions that I have while going through this. Okay, then if I turn this over on the back, there's more room there. So I'm going to go back to here. Okay, and if you look down here past that part, so I'd write down the summary. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I would write review questions. So why do earth scientists need a geologic timescale? Well, why do they? They need a timescale. Okay, so you see on my paper here. So here's my summary. I'd write out all these things. I'm trying to hurry this up for you. Review questions. They need a timescale because ... Okay, why? So then you'll answer the other 2 questions here. Okay, maybe you have questions that would go with the summary, or maybe some of you might have some stuff over here that connects to some of these answers that you have. Okay, so there's that. You can also add in stuff. You should probably add in stuff from the videos. Okay, what'd you see? So there's that. There's the CK12 stuff. Good luck. You'll do fine. I know you will.